We all not gonna be together. This ain't no damn unity party with punks. This ain't no unity party with people who don't want the true liberation of black people. This ain't no unity party with betrayers and snitchers and hypocrites and weak-minded, weak-blooded, spineless black people. This ain't that kind of party. So you take your raggedy ass on home. But those who want liberation, those who want to see black people really free at last, you walk away from these punctified Negroes unless you unite the like-minded of us, whether we are Christians or Muslims or nationalists or agnostics or socialists. If we are like-minded on reparations and on justice for our people, we are brothers indeed. But a black face ain't gonna make you no brother today. Go ahead. We tired of these black-faced, white-hearted niggas. Go ahead, say that. Masquerading as though you love your people. We see you.
Hey, check this out, man. This is diabolical work going on right now. It's nasty, y'all. It's getting nasty out here. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. Look, if y'all don't like Kendrick Lamar's music, if it's just not your type of music, I get it. I'm not judging you. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. I get it. There's plenty of good music that I think that I don't personally like, but I can still recognize as good music. If you didn't get all the Easter eggs that was in his performance, I get it. It takes some time of watching it over and maybe even studying it and watching some of these breakdowns before you could even, you know what I'm saying, pick up all of the Easter eggs. So I get that part too, if you don't get it. But just on a general palatable level, you see what he was doing. You heard some of the stuff he was saying.
The revolution about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. Oh, no. It's a cultural divide. I'm going to get it on the flow. You really about to do it? 40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
He was letting you know this is for us. It's not for America. It's not for the white cats who don't like hip hop. It's not for them. He did it for us. He mentioned reparations, the artistry of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like he was saying, so he was talking. He was talking his talk. But the real crash out ain't even those who just didn't like it. This is what some of y'all look like before I get serious into what we really gonna be talking about.
I'd rather see Drake. I'd rather see Drake. I'd rather see Drake. I'd rather see Drake. I'm not a fan. I'd rather see Drake. I'd rather see Drake.
Yeah, y'all look sassy out there, y'all. Y'all looking real sassy, man. It's and I get it. Some of y'all just don't like the West Coast. Some of y'all just hate to see the West Coast winning. Some of y'all just hate to see real niggas winning. Because when the South was running hip hop, the West Coast wasn't hating. We wasn't, you know what I'm saying? We kept our mouth closed and let y'all do what you do. When the East Coast been running shit, we kept our mouth closed. We gave you props because we understand that's where it comes from. And we always pay homage to real hip hop. That's one thing the West Coast has done since day one is pay homage to real hip hop. It's just our time now. It's our time right now. Let us shine. Get with the movement. Real. But this is where it gets kind of crazy, y'all. I got to say, especially when it comes to these niggas that act like they're about the struggle and black people, and they just get diabolical with the craziness and that they're willing to. Let me skip it over here real quick. I'm going to skip around on this video. I just made this just for this. So check this out. And this nigga had a lot of sassy shit to say to me and shit. So we're going to go ahead and put him on blast. Nigel Morpheus. Somebody asked this nigga, and he reposted this. That's why I'm showing you this. He said, why are you taking the performance so personal? This is what this Negro said. This is what this Negro said. This little negrito, this little bumpkin. Just because he's from the South don't mean you're a bumpkin, but this nigga's a bumpkin because he's slow. Slow as molasses in the wintertime, as they say. He said, I'm just deciding to speak on it. He said in the midst of all the little Kenny dick riding, he's being celebrated for calling another black man a PDF. First of all, you're referring to Drake as a black man. That's your first mistake, because he doesn't really refer to him as that. He calls himself Jewish. He was raised by a white Jewish lady in Canada. He calls himself Jewish. We'll get to that in a minute, though. He said, I get it. I know some of y'all ain't really up on your history. This is what I hate about this new wokeism that has infiltrated the real conscious community. These niggas who, you know what I'm saying, read a meme on Malcolm X and all of a sudden they're black power and they know everything about black history, and now they can criticize and judge everybody else because they just woke up. They think everybody else is at the same level of consciousness as them because they went from 0 to 100 real quick. No, anyway, since they, you know what I'm saying, they went from their bumpkin status of not knowing a goddamn thing to now knowing the name Malcolm X. They think everybody else is slow like them. But anyway, he said Black Wall Street, Emmett Till massacre, Delaware massacre, Atlanta race massacres, to the Mississippi Punch Bowl massacre were all set off over some false, all caps, because he's capping, false sexual deviant allegations on a black man. Okay. So you're comparing Drake to the Emmett Tills, to the brothers and sisters that were, to the brothers that was lynched by false accusations. That's what you're saying, right? Let's get to that real quick, because they're just false accusations about Drake. Drake's not really out here doing weird shit, right? Drake, there's no precedents or there's no evidence that would make you think that Drake might just be a PDF. We ain't even gonna get deep into all of it. We're not gonna get deep into some of the lyrics where he was referring to a high school as being the same as a strip club. We ain't gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about the 14 and 15-year-olds who he was texting as a grown man. We're not going to get to that. We're not going to get to some of the Twitter posts where some little girl was like, I just turned 18. And he put, I've been waiting. We're not going to get to that. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to talk about all the other miscellaneous things that have come out over the years of him interacting with minors in a very inappropriate way. We don't even have to get to all of that. But let's check this out real quick. See if anybody remember this. Let me see something. Let's go ahead and put this in effect. Hold up, y'all. Let's just get to this real quick, man. Let's just see what this nigga, the Drizzler, has been up to all these years. Let's see if there's any standing, any evidence, any legitimate reason why people would question if he has some type of asphyxiation with minors. Let's see. Now, keep in mind, this is at a concert. This is after he was already fondling her for like 2 minutes. Then he asked, how old is she? And if you didn't hear her, she said 17, but he's going to repeat it himself. So that if you just look at her, she looks like she's a little girl, man. She looks like a teenager. And any real nigga knows, if you look at a female and you can't tell if she's quite old enough, leave it alone. What the fuck are you talking about? All right, here we go. But let's let the Drizzler speak for himself. Like I said, this nigga is weird, and y'all sound weird. The crashing out over a PDF is nasty work. It's diabolical. This nigga, we have him risen up a 17-year-old. Now, the PDF, I understand that by definition, I think PDF is like 13 and younger. But can we all agree that the semantics don't really matter in a situation like this? Can we all agree that it's weird, inappropriate, it's nasty work, it's diabolical, and it's punishable by physical altercation when you're violating underage people? Can we just agree to that? Let's go. 17, why do you look like that? You thick. Now anybody could look at this. If you blow this up on your screen, you could tell this girl is not no damn adult. You could tell that she's a teenager. You could tell. But here's the thing. I watched some other videos, and what I noticed is this is what Drake does at his concerts. He'll call a little girl up on stage. He'll raise her up and fondle her. Then he'll ask how old they are. And if they say that, oh, I'm 23, he'll be like, yes, good. But you can kind of tell that he's kind of disappointed because he dismisses them a lot faster than he dismissed this 17-year-old. This nigga was actually having a moment of a battle on stage, knowing that there was 50,000 people watching. Just think about that. When she said she's 17, he didn't dismiss her. He told her how thick she was, why you look like that. Then he kisses and fondles her some more, like, oh gosh, I don't want to go to jail. This was him battling his demons in front of 50,000 people, knowing he's being recorded. What do you think would happen if there wasn't 50,000 people there watching him? Like, let's just be real. There's reasons why niggas call this nigga weird. And it's weird to crash out and try to use black history. Oh, why you calling pedophile? So many black men have been killed for being falsely accused. Yeah, falsely accused is the key word. Falsely. This nigga's not being falsely accused. There's evidence, way more evidence than you could even imagine, that you'd even want to see, that this nigga has weird tendencies when it comes to women that are under 18. And this is just one of the examples.
Look at all this. Listen, 17. I had fun. I don't know if I should feel guilty or not.
I had fun. I don't know if I should feel guilty or not. This is what he's saying, in case you can't hear it.
I had fun. I like the way your breast feels against my chest.
He said, I like the way your breast feels against my chest. This is after he knows she's 17. Doesn't even have enough decorum, enough common sense after she said 17. Like, you're a weirdo. But this is why they say that you can't really rehabilitate PDFs and shit. Because this nigga could barely let her go after she said that she's 17 in front of a crowd of 50-something thousand people, knowing millions of people will see it because it's being recorded. He's still having a struggle with just dismissing her like, damn, okay, you got to go. You're too young. There's got to be thousands of women in their 20s and 30s that are some baddies that would love to be on stage with Drake. But he's focused right now. You know what I'm saying? He's on something else right now. He's on demon time. He's on adolescent demon time right now. Imagine crashing out for this nigga. Imagine trying to use this nigga as an example of why black men shouldn't be throwing people under the bus for sexual deviations because Emmett Till. Nigga, you sound like a fucking clown. I know you watching. You're a clown, dog. The fuck? Oh, he's kissing her up. Look at that. 3 kisses. 4 kisses. Oh, yeah, here's something else about this Drake guy, in case you didn't know. Yeah, the blackface. Black man, you called him, right, Nigel? He's a black man. Upstanding black man. How dare you? He's like Huey P. Newton. This nigga wore blackface as an adult. This nigga wore blackface as an adult. This same Negro. And you can say, oh, he's trying to bring awareness to blackface and what the struggle's been. Okay. All right. Okay. As an adult, this nigga wore blackface, but he has never, ever used his platform to call out white supremacy, police brutality, to show solidarity with anything niggas have been going through. Never once was his platform used like that. In fact, his whole career has been blackface, if you think about it. His whole career has been blackface. He puts on a moniker of being black. This is before he started rapping, when he was like, oh, I think street slang and street culture is ignorant. You know, and no, it's below me. This is when he was still white Jewish Drake. Then he gets down to Atlanta, gets co-signed as rapping, and he's up in Houston and St. Louis, and you know what I'm saying, he's starting to hit some of these hoods. All of a sudden now he's mob tie, sick of these niggas. Now all of a sudden he's gangster, and he's gonna depict the lowest denomination of black existence. He's not representing intelligent black existence like Kendrick Lamar. He's not representing proud of what we have been able to make it through black resistance or black existence. No, he's representing just what white. He's blackface. He only sees black people the same way white people see us. Some white people, I should say. He only sees all the criminality, the tough guy, this and that. That's what he sees when he sees black people. So that's what he depicts, which is why he was able to wear blackface and why his whole career has been blackface. But no, this is the strong black man that we can't be thrown out under the bus like the white boys. Yeah, this is him, according to Nigel Morpheus. Now imagine having a name like Morpheus, like you're seeing through the Matrix. You're unplugged from the Matrix, and you're crashing out for a tether file like Drake. Imagine acting like you are that nigga, the one who taught Neo, Morpheus, and you're crashing out to defend a pedophile nigga or someone who's attracted to minors, to say the least. He's being celebrated for calling another black man a PDF in front of the whole world. Nigga, go take a bubble bath and wash your pussy. Nigga, go hug a teddy bear or something. Cut some grass. If you don't know the history of the Black Wall Street and the Emmett Till, do you know the history of blackface? Do you, gang? Do you know the history of blackface? Do you know the history of blackface? Because Drake's rocking that blackface, like, and he's smiling. Look at how cheesy. He's happy as hell. And that picture to the left. Jazz hands out, all that. This nigga is celebratory victory lap against black culture that he later on, after wearing this blackface, he uses our culture to enrich himself to fame and riches and underage bitches. He parlayed it. Like he's letting you see right here, he don't give a fuck about us. But then he uses the same people who he disrespects and has contempt for to enrich himself. But we're not even done yet. Let's check out some of his lyrics. Let's check out some of these hot bars that Drake be spitting. Hot fire. Let's hear it.
Change you like American slave. Whipped and change you like American slave. Whipped and change you like American slave.
Okay. Whipped and chained you like American slaves. Whipped and chained you like American slaves. So he goes from blackface to blackface to whipped and chain you like American slaves. This is all coming from a weirdo Canadian minor attracted individual, as we would call them PDF files. I know they're trying to switch it up. Just minor attracted. There's nothing really wrong with it. He's just minor attracted. It's just, nah. This nigga's a PDF. Or he has very much PDF tendencies. But he also has, fetishes of whipping and chaining black and slaves. Now, I get it. You could be like, oh, he was just trying to get on this freaky demon time stuff. That's kind of, okay. You're not like us, but whatever. A lot of different bars you could have threw in there about whipping and chaining. You could have been on some other shit, but you went straight to the worst atrocity that has ever happened to black people or to any people in the recorded history of the world. And that's what you wanted to link to your sexuality. After wearing blackface, after being blackface, after never speaking up against any atrocities. So you know what kind of things have happened to the people here in the United States because you know about American slave. But the only time you speak on it on your whole career is when you're comparing it to how freaky deaky you want to get in the bed. No, you're not like us, nigga.
Whipped and change you like American slave.
Imagine the audacity of some of these niggas. Let me see what we got this punk ass nigga saying. Whoever in here Tell your boy J Dizzle to stop lagging me. He's acting like a little old jilted hoe, and I'm not even reading all this bumpkin babble from this fucking weirdo. This nigga got like 15. Let's do it like this. Hold up. Let's see something. Just because, since he's acting like I'm just jacking him or something, as if he wasn't crying to me and posting shit. He might have blocked me. If he's smart, he did. Okay, it looks like he might have. But if you go to his page, he has like 10 posts about how much he hates Kendrick Lamar and the Super Bowl show, and it's disrespectful, and Serena Williams, why is she crip walking when her family was killed by a crip, and all this other goofy ass shit. Let me just say this though. Go to the page and see it. I just put a couple little things on his page. It's like boom, and he hits me up with paragraphs, and you know what I'm saying? But I'm just doing this as a case study because it's one thing if you just didn't like the performance Kendrick did. I get it. If you're just not into West Coast hip hop, I get it. But if you couldn't even just see the basic shit, the fact that he really did that for us, he didn't care what the Super Bowl folks thought. He didn't care what the broader white America thought. He did that for us as a salute and shout out for the culture. If you're hip hop, you would have to respect it, even if that's not your guy. If you're able to decode at least just a simple first layer symbology of what he was doing, 40 acres and a mule and some of the other fly shit he was saying, just to let it be known who he's standing with. If you can't respect that, irregardless if you really like him as an artist or not, or if you thought the performance was hot enough for you, if you can't at least just respect that and salute that, you're not like us. And that's what the whole point of Not Like Us was about. It wasn't just calling out these PDFs and these fake ass niggas in the industry. It's about calling out a whole mentality of people. There's levels and layers to the Not Like Us. And some niggas that look like us aren't really like us at the end of the day. And unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? I get it. Some of the South niggas, they're just mad that the West is on top. Some of you East Coast niggas, some are mad because the West is on top. Real hip hop niggas are happy because, like I said, when this whole beat started, I said this is bigger than Kendrick and Drake. This is the culture versus the industry. This is the industry that's been exploiting our culture, enriching themselves while they give a pittance to some of the artists, enriching themselves, usurping our culture, pushing people who we don't really co-sign. The Sexy Reds, we didn't co-sign that. They put that out there because that's what they want. And listen, I'm not saying you can't listen to Sexy Red, but she is trash as an artist, if we're going to be honest. She's fucking trash as an artist. She's the last one that should be calling herself sexy. But I get it. Ratchetness has its place. I'm not a prude. I get it. But she's only being pushed because the industry wants that to be the image displayed about black women. It's not because of her talent. Rhapsody doesn't get that kind of shine until she got the Grammy. Doechii doesn't get that kind of shine until she just got the Grammy because the culture is starting to win, and it's only starting to win because the grassroots are starting to speak up, and we understand the influence that we have from the grassroots that we can even overpower the industry. That's what this Kendrick Lamar and Drake battle demonstrated. That you could put all the bots, you could put all the industry behind it, but if the streets and the grassroots and those who are actually of the lineage that created hip hop don't stamp it, it will go no further from this day on. That was a seismic spiritual shift that happened because of that battle. Because Drake was supposed to win that battle. Drake was supposed to just do some bops, run the numbers up, and two-step his way, you know what I'm saying, to a Grammy or some shit. It didn't happen. What's wrong with Drake is way deeper than the fact that he doesn't write his own lyrics, that he's not authentic, that he's been propped up as a plant, like so many others, to run the game. They put him in that position purposefully to make him the image of hip-hop, a Canadian Jewish nigga who never knew black culture, never respected black culture, to run hip hop, to be the gatekeeper of what hip hop is. So niggas had to do business with them. They had to do features with them if they wanted to keep their career. All that shit is done. It's done ski. It's over. Y'all should be celebrating these kind of victories if you're real hip hop, if you're like us, if you're a real one. I get it. You know, these sassy niggas, you know what I'm saying? They're mad about, you know, Drake being dethroned. I get it. These off-brand square niggas that never hit the streets, never been outside. That's okay. I get it why they don't resonate with it. I get it. To them, Drake was them. They're the outsider that wants to be accepted, knowing they ain't really from the culture or respect the culture. Because you don't have to be a black person from the streets to appreciate hip-hop. You appreciate artistry, you're going to respect hip-hop, real hip-hop. But when you're not from that, especially if you're a foreigner, and you see this guy winning, then yeah, you're gonna, and you see this square ass incel who really ain't got no game, he really ain't got no business representing what he's representing. It's one thing when you rap street shit because you grew up in the streets, whether you were actually a gangbanger or whatever or not. But if that was the environment you grew up with, you witnessed it, lived it, witnessed it, seen it firsthand, you can speak about it authentically. But when you grew up in a Jewish neighborhood in Canada, and then all of a sudden you start coming down to America after the blackface, after the whole black vernacular is just so ignorant, and then you start cosplaying as that nigga, you cannot stand on that shit. It's not authentic. It's fugazi. So when you see these niggas crashing out, just understand what's really going on here. When you see these niggas that's trying to make it seem like it's all about you know what I'm saying? He's trying to really make Drake the symbolism of falsely accused black people like Emmett Till. As if we didn't see him risen up a 17-year-old. As if we don't know about the 14-year-old in Australia that he was inviting to his hotel. As if we didn't hear some of the lyrics of him comparing a high school parking lot. Why was he in a high school parking lot should be the first question. No, maybe that should be the second question to why is he comparing it to a strip club? Like there's not mountains of evidence of this nigga showing his proclivity and attraction towards minor people, minors. Now it's interesting if you was paying attention to the whole beef, dog, Mr. Nigel Morpheus. Did you hear all the stuff that Drake was saying about Kendrick Lamar's family, his wife and his kids? Did you hear any of that? That has no substantiation. Like there's no evidence of any of the stuff Drake was saying. Everything Kendrick said, there's actual evidence to support that. And you're trying to make it seem like it's a terrible atrocity that he called him a PDF in front of the world because so many black towns have been, nigga, black towns weren't destroyed over, they were destroyed over false accusations by supremacy. We got this nigga on camera. See it again. Let's run it.
Y'all gonna have me get carried away again. I get in trouble for shit like this. How old are you? I can't go to jail yet, man. 17? Why do you look like that? You thick.
17. Why do you look like that? You thick. Nigga, and he knows there's like 50,000 people watching him. Just think about how audacious that is. That he knows there's a whole arena full of niggas watching him as he fondles this underage girl who looks underage. Just be real. She doesn't look like, you know what I'm saying? Let's cut it out. Cut it out. He's doing this in front of an arena full of people, knowing that there's also cameras recording. He knows millions of people will see this, and he's not even disciplined enough. He can't even act like a normal individual and be like, oh, shit, go on. Who's 21 and up? Like there is not some baddies in their 20s and 30s at the concert. He's not interested in that. That's not his real preference. And you nigga calling me weird. This is who you're crashing out for, nigga. You're weird. You've been tagging me in these posts and shit. You said leave it alone. You was cool. Okay, I left it alone. You kept tagging me. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and throw your ass under the bus, nigga, because you're weird. You're the weirdo. Imagine a weirdo who's crashing out, trying to use Black history to protect this nigga. Imagine trying to protect this nigga right here on some Black shit, and then calling me weird. Imagine trying to protect this nigga.
Change you like American slave. Whipped and change you like American slave. Whipped and change you like American slave. Whipped and
Imagine trying to protect that nigga on some blackity black shit, and then thinking I'm weird. Imagine trying to protect this nigga and calling accusations about him being a weirdo, a PDF file, a minor attracted nigga, and then calling people weird. Just imagine the mind state that would have to go into that. Yes, that means these niggas are wired different. That's why they're not like us. See, they think it's weird if you don't like 17-year-olds, I guess. They think it's weird if you're not embracing blackface, I guess. I don't know. They think it's weird if you don't appreciate lyrics of some Canadian white boy, Jewish nigga talking about he's whipping and chaining bitches like American slaves. They think it's weird if you don't use your platform to speak up for blackness. It's weird if you use it to speak up for blackness, I guess. So I guess Kendrick Lamar doing the blackest motherfucking Super Bowl show in the history of Super Bowl shows. That's weird to them. Morpheus, these woke niggas. They're woke, not conscious. They're woke. They're that new brand of woke that white folks made when they usurped the word conscious from us a few years ago. They're woke like that. The fancy names and shit. Morpheus L, Shabazz, Islam, Israelite, Yahuda. The blackest, wokest names of all. Typically, not in all cases, they're really like projecting, kind of like Drake. They're wearing blackface. You know, I ain't got too much time. I said I wasn't gonna hold you. It is what it is, but I'm about to get up out of here. But check out this nigga's page for yourself and see the weird shit this nigga's saying. You know what I'm saying? And I only put you up in this nigga because you were saying my name a lot on your posts. All I said is this weird crashing out for a PDF, or no, what I say? I said something like that, like something simple, one sentence, one few words. But I love this confrontation shit. Nigga, you're a weirdo. You're not like us. And that's what we're doing right now. We're separating the not like us from the us. We're separating the they who aren't like us from the us. And you are part of the they that ain't like us.